Hello, everybody. This is Georgiana and Meredith from Creativity for Kids, and today we are going to learn an extra special rock painting technique called paint pour. So, Miss Meredith, take it away.
Yay! Thank you, Georgiana. Thank you, Felicia, and thank all of you for being here with us today. Just like Georgiana said, we are doing our paint pour rock painting kit today. And it is super cool because you get these amazing results. Look how cool that is. They are so awesome. They are so colorful and rainbowy and marbly looking. And I can't wait to do this with you. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll open up the kit and see what's inside. Okay, so this piece of cardboard we're actually going to hold on to. Sometimes we throw these away, but for this kit in particular, we're going to hold on to it because we're going to upcycle. We have our handy dandy instructions. This here is a table cover, which is very useful for a paint pouring kit of any type. We have a little apron you can put on. That it just goes over your head and then ties around your waist. And we have some little gloves to keep your hands clean when paint pouring. So we'll put those to the side, but I will go ahead and put down our tablecloth cover. Tablecloth cover? Table cover. Here we go. We have fun little cups, our little sticks for stirring and for making the paint go where we want it to, a sponge, and that sponge is to put on our really cool holographic transfers. We have our rocks. And our rocks are awesome because they are so big and natural. So all different sizes and shapes. And here's our other pack. You get 10 rocks and our paint. Ta-da! So this is special paint pour paint. So it isn't just an acrylic paint. It has a flow mixed into it. So it helps the paint really cover and continue to kind of flow over the rocks. I'll show you another one here. It's really pretty. It has the yellow, blue, teal, purple in it. So I'm very excited because this is such an easy, very quite quick craft to do. So let's open up our instructions and see where to start. So before you begin, be sure to use the gloves and crafting apron provided to make sure that you don't get messy. Or if you want to get messy, you don't have to use this stuff. Clean up any paint while it's still wet. And we do recommend working near a sink with water. Oh, yes. So I do have water here on hand, and we'll be using that for our transfers. Keep paper towels on hand as well, just in case you do spill anything. And like I said, put down your little table cover to protect your surface that you're working on. So this is, as I said, it's interesting paint. So when it mixes together, it kind of creates unique colors. So the magenta and blue will actually create a really cool looking purple. The yellow and the magenta creates a unique looking orange. So all of these paints, I mean, they're close to what you would normally learn with the color wheel, but when they mix together and flow together, they take on a whole new color palette. So it's just really exciting. Okay, so let's open up our rocks. We'll focus on one bag at a time. And here we go. All right, when painting your rocks, you'll allow the excess paint to pour off of the rocks. So we want to place them on the table cover away from the edge of the table cover because the paint will flow. And that's how I learned to actually use this as like a little tray. So I'm going to put a paper towels under here. So I have my table cover, but I also have my little trough, we'll call it, or tray. And I'm going to just line up my rocks in my little tray. And that kind of helps the paint stay in a consolidated spot. The other thing you could do, and this is not in the instructions, but you could open up your box, kind of like cut open the top of the box, and you can use the inside of your box as a workstation to kind of consolidate your paint. But we're going to do it this way for now. I'll put this stuff up here. Okay, so for best results, place small amounts of several different paint colors inside your cup. This will create the most interesting patterns and colors. Using too much of one color may result in a solid colored rock with little or no pattern. So, but don't even worry about that because if you don't like it, you can always redo it. All right, so let's grab a cup. And in our instructions, it does say to group your rocks together and you can paint a couple of them at a time. So I'm going to try and let's do like this. So I've got a couple big ones, a couple little or medium-sized ones all within there. I don't need that for right now. So let's start with just 3 colors. So we have our magenta, our teal, our white, and our yellow. So I'm going to start with some white as the first layer. Got to open up our paints. So how you layer your paints also makes a difference. Some paint, and you'll see this, some paint, like color, is heavier than other paint colors. So it's kind of interesting how that works. I don't really know the science behind it, but it is what it is. And you'll see what color kind of rises to the top or sinks to the bottom in your little cup. And our teal. Here's our white. All right. Now you can use the tops. So I'm not using the tops of our paint. I'm just leaving them open and just going to pour. But you can use the top of you can put this back on your paint and use the top like a little dripper. So, but like I said, I'm just going to go willy-nilly and pour it straight from the bottle. Okay, so I'm going to go with white, yellow, and pink at first. And you want to fill your cup about halfway. So let's do a little bit of white. And then I'm going to put in some of the pink. Let's see if I can get that out. I'm going to use my little stick to get it out. There you go. And some of the yellow. All right, now you can go ahead and put more in. So I'm going to do the white again. And you don't really have to mix this. You can just pour this straight out of your cup onto your rocks. So I'm not quite halfway, but I'm about, I'll say like about a quarter of the way. And you can see how much area that covers of the rocks. And I'm going to do a couple. So here we go. And I like to start in the middle of the rock, so the paint kind of flows over. Maybe I will just do one at a time. And you can use your little popsicle sticks to kind of guide your paint. And already you'll see how the paint is mixing and marbling together. So I'm going to hold this up. I don't recommend holding it up, but I am going to hold it up just so the camera can see a little bit clearer. Isn't that so cool? So anywhere that the pink and the yellow are touching, it's turning into that orangey peachy color. So if you do have your gloves on, you can pick it up and kind of tilt your rock so the paint will flow in one way or another. And the other magical thing about this paint is in certain places, it might start to kind of separate and make these little cells, like kind of like a bubble. It's hard to explain, but I'll point one out here. All right, so right here is one of those little cells that's starting. Oh, let's see if it'll focus again. There you go. So as the paint continues to move, that cell will get bigger and it'll just look kind of cool, like its own little outer space planet or something like that. All right, so we'll let that one flow a little bit. And now you can use a different cup, or you can just continue to add to what you have in here. So I still have paint in here, so I'm going to add a little bit more white. And this time I'm going to do the yellow and then some of that teal. And we'll see how that turns out. Okay. And this time I'm gonna do a little stir with my stir stick. Okay, so this is cool. This is what it looks like right now. And I love those colors, but I know it's going to change as soon as I pour it out because the paint is moving. So here we go. Ooh.
Looks like a lollipop.
Yeah. That is really fun. It looks, yeah, like a lollipop or that hard candy. Mm-hmm. Ooh. Okay, I'm holding that up because that looks so cool. Oops. It's dripping. Thank goodness we have that little tablecloth on. That's what it does. Oof. Okay, sure. All right. So I'm going to just pick up the entire thing and you can see a little bit better rather than me picking it up one by one. So you can see over here, those little cells are starting to form, and I didn't even do anything yet with the little stir stick. So I'm gonna start kind of moving it around a little bit. When you move it around, you might actually disturb the paint swirls. So it might become a little bit more blendy looking. So you kind of have to have a little bit of patience. And I sometimes struggle with that. So I hope you have patience more than I do. Oh, here we go. So I'm making the paint move just by tilting the rock up. Oop. And it will cover the rest of the rock. So I highly recommend experimenting with how you put the paint in the cup, and then when you pour it out, what different combinations are creating the different colors, like I was telling you about earlier. So, and I like it when the entire rock, like the edges, are also covered with paint. So I'm just kind of bringing the paint down a little bit around the edges of the rock. So these are super fun looking. And when it will take a little bit of time to dry because this paint is thick. I want to go back into our first rock and see what I can bring out a little bit more swirliness. So since the paint is layered, if you move just like the pink around, white might come out from underneath, or yellow might come out from underneath. So it's really a magical experience with our paint for paint. All right, let's do these two here. So, Georgiana, what color combination should I either add to this cup or start a new cup?
I think I want a new cup
Okay.
with teal and magenta.
Ooh, okay. We'll go. I'm going to put the cap back on the magenta and just shake it up a little bit because it looks like it might need a little shaking. All right. And I think I'll shake the magenta a little as well. Sometimes if your paint sits for a while, and this is any kind of paint, it might separate and you might need to shake it up a little bit just to kind of get it back to the consistency that you need it. So I'll do a little bit of teal first. And then a little magenta. Oh, the magenta seems heavy today. So just like I was saying, sometimes colors seem a little heavier than others. And then a little bit more of the teal because it's fun to make layers. All right. I'll do just a little stir. Little stir, little stir. And then we'll pour it. Ooh. All right, so that magenta did make this combination a little bit thick, but still I can see what's happening. We created purple. That magenta somehow mixed with the teal to create a bit of purple. And I love it because it's a color that you wouldn't think would be coming out of magenta and teal. So again, quite magical. And really you can make those swirls happen with your popsicle stick, with your stir stick. And over time, so because this is thick, it's taking a little bit of time for it to really flow over the rack. But if you check it in like probably 10 to 15 minutes, you might see more of the cells popping out and more of the paint flowing down around the rack. So I'm gonna use this, we'll call it Georgiana's mix. And I'm gonna add a little bit of white to it and see if that helps the flow a little bit for our last rock. All right, is it coming out? Oh, it's coming out slowly, but it's coming out. Ooh, this is a really pretty, this one kind of looks like aquatic, maybe like the ocean or waves or the wind over water. And that's what I'm talking about. It's okay, wow, like a little dolphin plays in there. And we'll stir, or I'll spread it a little bit. Ooh. And again, that purple's coming out. Oh, and somehow a little yellow is there too. So that's fun.
Just wanted to pay a visit.
Yellow popped by to say hello. There we go. Okay. So we've got a whole lot of color all mixed together, and it will take a while for these to dry. But once they dry, we can add our really awesome holographic, spacey, astrology looking transfers to the rocks. So I do have a rock that's all ready for a transfer. And it's this little yellow guy here. So I'll just move all this to the side and up. And then we can put our transfer on our yellow, mellow yellow rock. All right, so with our transfers, it's just like if you've played with any of our other rock painting kits, or like a fake tattoo type of transfer, where you cut out the one that you want to add to your rock. And it has a little protective sheet over the top. So just pull off that protective sheet and put it face down onto the rock. Like that. And it should stick a little bit. Now you just get your water and your sponge and get the sponge wet and dab it over the transfer. Just like that. And make sure all of the paper gets damp. And with our holographic ones, sometimes it takes a little bit more dampening than some of our other transfers. So I'm trying to make doubly sure that it's transferring. And the way you can check that is just by peeking underneath to see if it's staying, and it mostly is. So just carefully pull back the sheet and voila. Ooh, it's so cool and rainbowy. I love it. And I'm gonna just use a paper towel and just get the excess water. If there's any excess water, you can just gently pat it away. Like that. So fun. Look at that. So this definitely adds another level of awesome to these rocks. Cool. All right, friends out there, do we have any questions on our transfers or on our paint pour rocks? Oh, and one other thing. Let's see. sometimes, I don't see them. But sometimes we include a little set of stickers that has our information on the back of on them, printed on them. So it's hashtag creativity for kids. And you would put that on the back of your rock. So if you do go out into nature, oh, thank you, Georgiana. They look like this. You can peel off one of these stickers and add it to the back of your rock. Ooh, that one already had one. So if someone finds your rock, they can go online to Creativity for Kids and share their rock that they found, and then see a bunch of other people's rocks that have been found out, maybe at the library or at the playground or out on a walk. So that's a fun little thing to see online. Aw, all right, awesome with the hologram. I know, I love them. These are gonna look so awesome with our holograms. I think they are gonna really, really look cool. Very outer spacey. So, all right. Well, if we don't have any other questions, should we try maybe another rock? Let's try another combination. We'll do one more.
Just for fun.
Just for fun. We already
for
have
funsies.
the paint already open, so mine as well. All right, friends out there, do you have a color combination you would like to see? I know. The I Dream of Jeannie song pops in my head all the time. All right, so since we don't have any suggestions, I'm going to just add more to this cup. So I'm going to put some more white and more yellow. Ooh, that was a lot more yellow. And not the magenta, because the magenta seems a little thick right now. So we'll go more teal. Okay. And a little bit of stir. Ooh, maybe just 3 stirs. We'll put these out of the way a little bit so we can focus on this one. Oh, I can tell this is already flowing really well. I'm going to get a second rock out just in case. And maybe a third, just in case. We don't like to waste the paint, so we need to group our little rocks together.
Need to go with the flow.
Going with the flow. Oh, yeah. And we got our third. Ooh, this yellow and teal looks really cool together. Okay. And we'll move it around a little bit and see if any other colors pop out. Oh, there's white. There's the pink. Let's see up here. Definitely the white. And then down here, a little bit of pink. But again, that pink probably won't be super prevalent because we didn't add it to this mix. It's just on my little stir stick. Okay. So we'll clean out the bottom and add more to it. And over here. And I might just take the stick Ooh, that's cool too. So I would say this paint process is super duper experimental. So kind of just, even just scooping it out, it makes a really cool inside of your cup. Very marbly. All right. And I'll hold up my, yeah, I'll hold this up because this is just so cool. Look at this design. How amazing is that? I love it. Just so cool. Oop, I dripped. Okay. All right. We could hide rocks and eggs for our Easter egg hunt. Oh my goodness, that's a great idea. Do the holograms show up better on the light or dark colors? I would say on the dark colors, just kind of, although it will pick up whatever color is around it. So this is what it looks like on the white. It's still rainbowy, you know, it's still picking up the colors that the light is bringing out. And then this is more on a darker color. Focus, focus. And there we go. So that's what they look like on different shades, but this one, it might pop out even more because this one's even darker than any of those. So very good questions though. Thank you. All right, Felicia. All right, Georgiana, and all right, all friends out there. If there's no other questions, I think that's it for our class today. So if you enjoyed watching, I would highly recommend going and getting a kit at Michael's and trying it out for yourself because it's super quick and easy with amazing results. So enjoy and have a wonderful day. I hope to see you again. Bye-bye.